My angel mechanic. When you go through trauma, the brain's survival tactic is to block things out, including the good memories. I completely forgot about this special angel until the last minute as I was turning over my final manuscript. This person deserves a place in my book. I don't remember how I was referred to Greg, but when you are a single parent under extreme stress with a car that doesn't run too well, a good mechanic is sometimes more important than a husband. At least that's how I felt. My used Nissan had seen better days. Once when my sister-in-law dropped me off somewhere and had to drive my car home, I left these instructions. 1. Do not drive over 55 miles per hour or the car will start shaking a lot. 2. Do not open the passenger side door. It does not open. 3. Do not make left turns or car will stall suddenly. The last one was key if you were in a busy intersection. If a left turn was needed, I would have to find a way to get to my destination by making right turns only. Driving was an adventure for me, needless to say. When Greg came into my life, he was a godsend. This man would come to my house with his girlfriend, take my car, his girlfriend drove his car back, bring it to his shop, do an oil change or whatever needed to be done, drive it back to me, and only charge me minimally for parts. I don't think he ever charged me for labor. Who does that? Earth angels do. I lost touch with Greg when I upgraded to my first brand new car, but I really hope he knows how much I appreciated him. Thank you, Greg. Bodybuilding. Becoming a female financial consultant in a man's world was not an easy task. I encountered sexual harassment and double standards regularly. Determined and hardworking, though, I climbed my way up from Abaco International to Merrill Lynch, Bear Stearns, Smith Barney, Citibank, and Bank of America, where I became a fully licensed financial consultant covering a territory of bank branches and customers. I knew this was not my dream, but I made the best of it and always kept a grateful heart. At the same time, I became a personal trainer and started bodybuilding, thanks to my boxer boyfriend. At 30, I entered my first all-natural bodybuilding show in 1999. It was a great experience that taught me how to transform my physical body in 6 months with good old exercise and diet. I won Best Poser in that show. I competed in 2 more, but with another trainer after we broke up. One of the things that got me over my stage fright was a quote from the fitness model who inspired me to start bodybuilding. She said, "People don't care as much about you as you think they do." I got it. People are too caught up in themselves to be thinking about you. That helped me to be less self-conscious on stage and in life when I had to get up in front of an audience. I used to do what I called the jiggle test. I would stand naked in front of the mirror and jump up and down. Whatever was jiggling that wasn't supposed to be had to go. Bye-bye carbs. Bread makes you spread was my mantra. I was working out 3 times a day, yet I was wise enough to know when to stop. I saw how this way of life could become an addiction very easily. It reminded me of a girl I went to college with who was a slave to her body image and low body fat. She used to ride on the stationary bike while squirting Ready Rip whipped cream into her mouth. My strong inner voice knew that if anything had the potential to become an addiction, I needed to stop. While I was competing, though, I was dedicated and committed, like I am with everything I'm passionate about. When you want something badly enough, it's never about, is there a way? There's always a way. It's about how badly do you want it. In the morning before my daughter woke up, I would do my first round of cardio on the recumbent stationary bike I crammed into my tiny apartment, so I wouldn't have to bring her to the gym 2 times a day. Or while she was sleeping early in the morning, I would jump rope outside on the sidewalk, or run around the block a jillion times so I could keep running by the apartment to hear her in case she woke up. On my lunch hour, I went to the gym to meet my personal trainer, do my weight workout, ate lunch in my car, worked the rest of the day, picked up my daughter, went home, ate dinner, homework, dragged her to the gym, to the babysitting room, where I would do my final round of cardio before bed. I didn't share this with anyone at the bank because even though I had more freedom since I covered a territory of multiple branches, I didn't want to take advantage since sometimes my lunch hour was longer than an hour. My secret got out of the bag, or shall we say the suit, one hot summer day during a horrific heat wave that coincided with broken air conditioning at the bank. All the employees were disrobing their suit jackets, everyone except me. I was wearing a sleeveless dress under my suit jacket that day, and I was hesitant about revealing my secret. My coworkers kept staring at me quizzically, saying, "Why don't you take off your jacket?" Finally, dripping with sweat, I gave in, trying to act inconspicuous, but it was impossible. Their facial expressions were priceless. "What the heck are you doing?" they asked me as they stared at my arms. I had guns, and they were no joke. We were born an original, don't die a copy. Unknown. I didn't care what people thought, especially other parents. The moms would shoot me dirty looks as their husbands drooled and oogled over me at Meet the Teacher nights. I already had people staring at me, so this wasn't any different. I definitely didn't fit in with any other parents, so standing out even more didn't bother me. No PTA for me. I was the only mother picking her kid up from school on rollerblades and a baseball hat. I was showing my daughter how to be her own person and a nonconformist at an early age. I was leading two lives, and in my heart I knew that if I stayed at the bank any longer, I would suffocate. The financial industry wasn't what was in my heart to do, and as much as I was grateful for the education and experience, I knew it wasn't my calling. I was more interested in people than their money. Even with all my exercise outlets, the pressure of having monthly sales quotas and being a single mom, with all the pain and hurt still repressed within me, was too much for me to handle. I was angry, stressed out, and hardly home for my daughter. When I was home, unfortunately, she received the brunt of my stress. This was no way to live. All I wanted was to be able to put my daughter on the bus in the morning and be there when she got home. I wanted to have time to bake cookies with her and just be normal. I wanted simple and stress-free. I was so stressed out, one day my eyes started to twitch when I got stuck in a traffic jam on the Long Island Expressway. It twitched for a month. I knew I had to make a change. Gym girl. Always be a first-rate version of yourself and not a second-rate version of someone else. Judy Garland. I resigned in the summer of 2000, ironically the most lucrative year at the bank. My manager, shocked, asked me why I was resigning. I replied, to follow my dreams. Surprised, but in respect of my decision, he told me I had an open door to come back. My coworkers and friends all thought I was crazy. I was giving up a 6-figure income with bonuses and benefits. Trust me, there were many times that I questioned myself. It was a struggle financially being a single mom, and I thought about going back to work full-time in that industry many times. But I had to follow my heart. I got a job at Gold's Gym and blossomed. I turned in my business suit for a sweatsuit and was so much happier. I became a certified personal trainer and taught every class from kickboxing to rebounding to body sculpt and Pilates. I lived at the gym and was in my glory. Even my license plate said gym girl. I am not my body. Imbalance happens when we're focused only on the physical, though. I yearned for inner confidence and true security. Even during exercise, my only form of stress release, I was still a reactive bundle of stress, yelling at my daughter for something, and immediately my neck and back going into spasm. Thank God I had a good massage therapist who always made an opening for me. Thanks, John. Inside, I still craved love and acceptance. I went from one toxic relationship to another like a wound-sinking missile, until I started to know who I really was, a spark of the divine goddess, and truly loved and valued myself. I would keep attracting men into my life that were only interested in my body. My body was just the tip of the iceberg. There was so much more underneath. Hidden was the jewel. Yoga girl. This career change from financial consultant to personal trainer and fitness instructor served its purpose, however, as another step up the ladder toward my spiritual growth. I had just finished teaching a kickboxing class, and in came Bruce, a yoga teacher, to teach the next class. I didn't know him very well. He asked me if I knew what yoga was. Oddly, I did not. I had never heard of it, which seems strange to me now. He handed me a piece of paper and said, "Take this. I think you will like it." It was a weekend teacher training certification for Level 1 yoga. I went on a whim, having no idea what to expect. When I was there, all I could think was, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That was in 2001, a pivotal turning point in my life. Bruce was another angel in my life. I know for a fact that he has no idea, because that yoga certification changed the entire course of my life. It felt like it was the missing piece of the puzzle. I was hooked. I changed my license plate from gym girl to yoga girl, and from that point on, the focus of my fitness life was yoga. I still continued to be well-versed in the fitness world and stayed active in martial arts, weightlifting, triathlon, swimming, and everything else physical. However, yoga had my attention and devotion. Over time, I realized yoga was much more than a physical practice to keep my body in shape, and this was what actually drew me to it. I just didn't know it yet. This was the beginning of my awakening, yet I had no idea it was also going to be the start of my breaking apart. I rarely talked about my feelings. In fact, I wasn't even aware I had any. I was so shut down and numb. Who has time to think about feelings when you are a single mom just trying to survive? I did, however, bring my 5-year-old daughter to therapy after she was expelled from kindergarten from shoving a boy into a bookshelf and telling him to fuck off. I have no idea where she learned that from. Oops, my bad. My daughter resisted it like I did when my father made me go at 17 when I ran away. I just sat in Dr. Dooby's office in silence. I couldn't get past his name.